All right. Welcome to the Digital Dreaming Off the Ground podcast. It's a rainy day here in Northern California, but I'm joined by co-host Moses with his fresh new threads, number 24, Mr. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Joliet Buccaneers finest, Cortez Branch Jr. It has been almost 2 months since we were last on here, but we are back, and we are here to talk some football, and also some wrestling, because we do have a new world heavyweight champion. So we're going to start from the top. Obviously, starting with the NFL, Niners were able to win yesterday. Were able to win on Sunday. They've moved to 6-3, second place in the division behind the Rams and the Seahawks, who are on a hot streak. It's a very tough competitive division in the NFC West. And essentially now moving on to next week, they do have a divisional matchup with the Rams coming to town at Levi's this coming Sunday. Cortez, asking from your perspective, what are you looking forward to this matchup with the Niners, all the injuries that they had in the D line, especially with Mike Williams going out? And obviously another kind of breaking story which happened yesterday was that Jalen Phillips was acquired by the Philadelphia Eagles for a third
He
round pick,
was.
who the
He
Niners
was.
could have easily sacrificed that same draft capital to pick up as well. So what are your thoughts heading into this week, for the Niners and I guess your outlook on the season and beyond?
I think as far as the Niners go, they're comfortable with what they have and what they have coming back.
Hmm.
Ayuk still hasn't played yet this season, and he will. They've got McCaffrey at full steam, and he's able to do what he's able to do without having to share with Debo Samuel. And I mean, the division is up for the taking. Anybody can win that division.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even if Iowa doesn't come back, I think that, with the division being so competitive, I think Brock is now actually, that's another update. Brock is now limited in practice this week. So there could be a chance that Brock comes back to play. Mac has obviously, has done a stellar job, manning the ship for the basically the entire first half of the season, leading the team
I,
to
I
6-3
want to give
record.
a shout out to Mac Jones and Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
They both are thriving in a place where I didn't know that they could.
Yeah. I mean, they're both showing everyone, myself included, that hey, like, we can ball. We're in the NFL for a reason, right? And we just need the right system and the right scheme to set us up for success. We can talk about Daniel Jones too. I mean, the Colts are basically they're leading the league right now. I think it's 7-1 or 8-1, whatever the record is. Like Jonathan Taylor's having a great season. Daniel Jones, defense. I mean, so that's another like major thing to look out for because I believe they also just acquired Sauce Gardner from the Jets. So now with
They
Sauce
did.
Gardner,
They
coming
got
in
sauce. They
secondary,
got
that
sauce.
I mean, they are now. You have if you didn't take them seriously before, you better take them seriously now. Obviously, my biggest gripe with the Colts is that DeForest Buckner, who was on Niners back in 2019, we decided to let him go to the Colts back in 2020, and then obviously re-signed Eric Armstead, who is not never ever the caliber player he was as he displayed in the 2019 season. DeForest Buckner has continuous production, and he has proven to be worth a max contract. He is one of the best D linemen right now in the league. So, I mean, what's your take on the Colts, and kind of what's your outlook for that division, the AFC South with the Jaguars and everything?
I mean, the Colts pretty much have it on lock.
Hmm.
Um, Aside from the crappy game they played this last Sunday,
Yeah,
um, which every team deserves to have a bad game or two, as long as it's not in the playoffs or the Super Bowl. I mean, we kind of figured that was going to happen.
yeah,
But I don't think anybody's going to be able to take it. I think Taylor is a premier back in this league right now, and the fact that yesterday was the first time he didn't score all season, I mean, they're going to be tough to beat, man. If Daniel Jones keeps playing the way that he's playing, the dude's putting up an MVP caliber season. Jonathan Taylor's putting up an MVP caliber season. I mean, you got two guys that could win MVP on the same team.
yeah, yeah. And so I stand corrected. Since you're right, they did lose on Sunday, and I actually watched tail end of that game. So they're actually 7-2. Daniel Jones threw three picks in that game. And like you
Yeah,
said, the
worst
Steelers
game he had all
defense,
season.
the Steelers defense, including Joey Porter Jr., whose dad was in the test for that game. Also, shout out Kurt Angle, Pittsburgh's finest, right? Steelers
Kurt
fan
Angle, yeah,
one.
Kurt Angle was there.
Yes, sir. And obviously one of those things, right? So, but yeah, obviously I agree with you. I think that now with Sauce Gardner and with Jonathan Taylor, with that defensive line, with that offensive line, with Quentin Nelson, all them boys up front, I mean they are a force to be reckoned with. So I'm definitely looking out for them. Shane Steichen definitely is in my opinion front runner for Coach of the Year. If he wasn't already in your Coach of the Year nominees, I would put him at the forefront. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they fare. Now let's talk about your Bears. Your Bears, I believe they won on Sunday, but I don't know where they rank within your division. And your division's pretty stacked with the Bears and the Packers as well as the Lions, right? So the Bears actually lost. The Bears actually won. Sorry, they won against the Bengals 47-42. Obviously Caleb Williams had 3 touchdowns, 280 yards. Bears actually 5-3. Okay, so you guys are doing pretty good. What we talked about this, and I thought for Monday night that the Bears, the opener, I thought the against the Vikings, I thought the Bears were looking like they could have a good year, and it looks like they're on track to continuing to have a good year. But is good defined? I guess the definition of good for the Bears, right? Not being in the playoffs for the past 5 years. Would a playoff berth be considered a success? Success? Would it be finishing above 500? What's a successful season by your definition for the Bears?
The Bears making the playoffs
Mm.
is sex. Okay, you said it right the first time. The Bears making the playoff is sex. Will
Yeah.
the Bears do well in the playoffs? Probably not. But I would rather them make the playoffs and lose than them not make the playoffs for a what 11th consecutive season,
Yeah. Or five consecutive
five,
seasons. Yeah.
fifth consecutive season of
Yeah.
not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
I would rather them make the playoffs and build, and then next year make a run. Maybe pick up some good free agents. Some offensive line, some defenders. You know what I mean, and call it a day. I would much rather that happen. My other team, as you're well aware of, they don't seem to have that problem.
Let's talk about your team. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 6-2, sitting in first place in the NFC South. Baker Mayfield was a front runner for MVP, but I believe at the midseason, so right now looking at Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, maybe Matthew Stafford, as much as I hate to say it as an Irish fan.
Matthew
What
Stafford lit it up last week, man.
I mean, Matthew Stafford and the Browns. That's why that's the. I mean, we're gonna talk about that game. That's why I opened up with that because I do want to get into that game coming up on Sunday. Because I mean, I feel like we have to talk a little bit more about it because that's. Anyways, what are your expectations for the Bucks? This is probably going to be. I believe Baker Mayfield has the most touchdowns since joining Tampa Bay for the past since 2023. Baker Mayfield leads the league in passing touchdowns. What do you expect for the Buccaneers? Like we've seen them make the playoffs with Baker. They've won a playoff game. They haven't ever made it out of the site divisional. Like Baker did the same thing in Cleveland. He's never made it to the conference championship. He's never made it to the Super Bowl. What is a successful season for Tampa Bay? Because Baker was obviously in MVP talks. He probably still is an MVP candidate. Like what, in your definition, kind of what is a successful season for your Bucks?
At this point, right now, only winning the division.
Okay.
Like winning the division gives them that bye week that we need. It also gives them a second chance at righting a wrong that was last season.
Yeah.
This season has been plagued with injuries, and they're still on top of their division. We're talking about losing three top wide receivers at the same time, and Baker still made it work. And he elevated a rookie, Tez Johnson.
Yes, sir. Tez. Give a shout out to our boy Tez, young Tez out there.
It's funny because I do have Johnsons in my family, so Tez Johnson is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Tez Johnson is doing his thing out there. Any Tez in a Bucks uniform is always a winner, you know.
Flex on him.
Any, you know, yeah, any Tez in a Bucks uniform is always a winner. I gotta say that honestly. One of the things that I want to make sure that is going to happen here is I would like to see, like, to be honest, I would like to see the NFC Championship match of the Niners and the Bucks, and then the Colts and the Chargers. If I could get that, my life is great. If I could get the two NFC and AFC championship matchups to be the Bucks in the 49ers and the Chargers and the Colts, I would lose my talk
Yeah.
about talk about what I want to watch. I want to watch that. It's like no offense to the Bears, but I want to watch two good dog teams go at it. I would love to see that because like quietly Justin Herbert is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So my teams are doing great. I have about five teams that I consistently watch. I watch the Buccaneers, I watch the Bears, I watch the Chargers, I watch the 49ers, and I watch the Colts. You know what I mean? Those are the teams that I watch every week. I do not miss their games.
Yeah.
And I would love to see four of those five teams. Sorry, Bears, no faith in you still, which is why I haven't worn your jersey all year. Yeah, I would love to see that. I really would. I would love to see that. Would
Yeah,
love it.
it'd be interesting. I wonder though, like, yeah, to the point, the Niners, it's interesting because the Niners have this trend going back 22 years where they've either made the NFC Championship or they've missed the playoffs entirely. And this might be one of those years where this trend might not continue, whereas they might make the playoffs and they might not make the NFC Championship because you do have the Eagles, you do have the Packers, you do have the Bucks, you do have, and obviously within the division itself, you have Seattle and you have the Rams. So essentially, also Lions. You can't forget them, right? So,
You
anyways,
forget about
like
the Lions.
yeah, Lions too. So, I mean, not saying the
Well,
Niners
in
can't.
the NFC North is all tied right now.
The NFC North is, yeah, 5-2-1 with the Packers, 5-3 with the Lions, 5-3 with the Bears. I mean, yeah, it's just like the NFC West. NFC West 6-2 Seattle, 6-2 Rams, 6-3 Niners. If Niners had beaten
And then I think
Houston,
the Vikings are 5-4.
Vikings are 4-4. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think
so we're talking about a division that's all tied.
yeah, and no one's under 500. Same with the.
Nobody's under 500. The whole division is
Oh
tied.
my God, we got and we got. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
You're all
Finish
good.
about. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
take
was
your
gonna say
time.
we got about the Panthers are 5-4. The Carolina's 5-4. Oh my gosh, out Bryce Young and who's their
Yeah,
coach?
Carolina had a nice win last week.
Yeah, their coach is who?
Oh, and I had to go ahead and fix that. I don't usually let my shoulders
Oh yeah,
hang
yeah,
that
yeah. I see
low,
you.
you
I
know.
see you. Okay. The coach is Dan. No, the coach is what's his name? Dave Canales. I don't know who this guy is. Okay, great. Uh, so yeah, no, the Panthers are above 500. I think for the first time in almost 5 years. So I
I,
mean,
I will say this. Probably the most fun thing about being a former leaguer is I get access to all the fun shit.
mhm.
And like this the stuff that I see coming from some of the guys that I know, like for example, like Lofa, like Lofa too, which is actually really cool that Lofa too.
Yeah.
The stuff that he posts is great.
Lofa's phenomenal. That's my guy. Lofa is just
He
he
is awesome.
he's awesome. Like he's a great guy. He's a great father. He's a great, obviously a legend for Seattle and the NFL. But it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, yeah. So I think back to the point, it's like you look at all these different teams in the NFC. I mean, it's really neck and neck right now. I don't think there's a clear-cut favorite. I don't think there, but I do think, LA scares me. I hate to admit it, but they do scare me.
Both of them, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, because really, but I mean, just for specific, especially that. So now let's talk about Sunday because, like I said, the Rams are coming to Levi's. There's a one-game differential between the Niners and the Rams, and this is basically potentially like maybe it's a bye week clinching matchup. It's positioning for the conference throughout the playoffs. Maybe it's whatever, right? I mean, we'll see kind of how it shapes out. With the NFC being so stacked. But also with the Eagles also gained Jalen Fields, so really kind of stay on point and track with the kind of the Niners and Rams. I'm just a little concerned with all the injuries. Obviously, Michael Williams is out. Niners were not able to make a trade. I mean, they did get Clelin Ferrell last week, but like he's more of a situational pass rusher. I don't think he's an every down pass rusher at this point in his career. They still need someone to kind of man every down. At the on the D line. With that said, they do have, I mean, they do have, I think Alfred Collins is still there, the young rookie sensation, kind of, manning the ship at the D tackle. He actually was a hero for the game the last time Irish played this earlier this year when he punched out that ball from Kyron Williams, at the goal line, preventing the Rams from going ahead and then Niners and ultimately winning the game in overtime on a fourth down stop. But difference now between this team and that team is that there's no Fred Warner, right? There's no Michael Williams, who's proven to be the best run defender for the Niners this year. And they haven't made a trade, a big splash, for any serviceable D lineman at this point, right? So with all that said, I mean, it's a little concerning because you don't know what version of Niners you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get. Oh, last couple of weeks we kind of saw two Niners. We saw Niners that basically smashed the Giants in the mouth, but their defense still let them come back near the end. And you also have the Niners who basically got ran over by Houston, right? By
Hmm.
CJ. And so it really just depends on what version we get and how they're able to compensate with all the injuries. To me, it's so mind-blowing that the Niners are still 6-3 with all the injuries. I mean, I mean, if you told me like, yeah, you're going to be missing Nick Bosa, you're missing Fred Warner, you're going to be missing Brock, you're going to be missing George Kittle, you're not going to have Brandon Ayuk, right? Like, and you're going to be 6-3, like at the
Well, that's my
midpoint.
thing right there is
Yeah,
you have a couple of teams in there that have a lot of injuries that are
yeah.
playing very well with those injuries.
Yeah, yeah, and to the point, I mean, yeah, a lot of teams are playing really well, with like the Niners are, It's just like the Rams are stacked. Their defensive line is stacked. I mean, they have Fisk, they have Verse, they have, obviously they got Lake, on the secondary. They have so much young talent on both sides of the ball, but really on the defensive side, on the offensive side, Devontae Adams having come back here, he's looking good. Puka is looking great. Obviously Tutu Atwell, phenomenal.
Right.
Maybe Demarcus Robinson wants another revenge game. We'll see if he gets his shine. But yeah, anyways, no, I think kind of, what I'm looking for, but I will want to say I do want to give a shout out to Brian Robinson because Brian Robinson Jr. did have a nice little kind of game last week, only 50 yards on the ground, but ripped off that really nice 30 plus yard touchdown run, or 20 plus yard touchdown run, against the Giants. And that's what the Niners are looking for. So really what it comes down to, in my opinion, is yeah, can Mac continue? Like Mac, I think he threw for 350 plus yards last game. Can he have another performance like that at home?
Yes.
Yeah, with
Yes.
Juwan,
That
you're
man's
right.
real.
Yeah, it's real. Can he do that? And to your point, now George Kittle's back, which is an added advantage because George Kittle in the blocking game is going to be very, very paramount, right? To
Not to
making
mention
sure.
the man's got hands.
Well, and yeah, and he has hands, and so it's like but having him block, he's basically like a sixth blocker to essentially so you're running against either an eight man. I mean, it won't be an eight man front, but they're going to have to get an eight man front to stop them if the Niners can replicate. And again, shout out to Niners. I didn't touch on all this when we opened up this podcast, but shout out to Niners for last week for rushing to over 158 yards, 159 yards on the ground against the Giants. That was the first time that they had over 100 yards this year, I believe. So or not 100 first time, but like Christian McCaffrey had like 90 yards rushing, or I think 80 or 70, whatever, receiving, and then Brian B. Rob had over 50 plus, and there's I think 10 yards from the other guys. But like if the Niners can play like they did last week, which will not be easy against this Rams kind of defense, because the Rams have looked really good since that
Right.
game, you know, then they have a chance to win. Now the question is, can they do it against the Rams? I don't know, because Stafford is playing great. And another reason I'm a little concerned is because of how well his rhythm and his rapport has been with his receivers, with Devontae Adams, with Puka Nacua, with Tutu Atwell. So we'll see, what we get.
I mean, I want Puka to do great, just because I have him in fantasy. But I would love for him to do great, and then the Rams actually lose against the Niners.
Yeah.
I mean, I have in my brain the way I want the playoffs to play out. If I'm happy, I see the Niners, I'll see the Rams, I'll see the Chargers, the Bears, the Buccaneers. I hate to say it, but Kansas City,
We gotta talk about that too.
Philly, Jacksonville. How many spots am I missing?
No, you're good. And let's talk about, sorry, I'm gonna stop you right there because let's talk about Kansas. Let's talk about the Bills who beat Kansas City on Sunday. Josh Allen now moves up to 5-0 against Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. He's 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes in
Yeah,
the postseason.
yeah,
Both of those are regulars, by
yeah,
the way. So I mean, you got the Bills
yeah.
who are basically running, who look good, who look really good actually. But then you have the Patriots as well. We forgot about the Patriots, right?
Yes, yes, the
Seven
Patriots.
and
Drake
two,
May.
leading the AFC West,
Yeah.
AFC East with Mike Vrabel in his first year as head coach. So, I mean, you
I was
have
gonna
so
mention
much.
them earlier, but when we were talking about Mac Jones, but like I try not to mention the Patriots because I feel like I jinx them when I do.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, but it's interesting because Drake May is looking good, and I believe Stephon Diggs his first year there, he's looking real good.
I
So,
mean,
I
that dude's
mean,
got four women pregnant at the same time.
I know, man, he's a
He must
legend.
be looking good.
Oh man,
Yeah, he must be looking good with four women pregnant at the same time.
yeah,
I don't
four
know how he does
women.
it. I don't know how he does it, man. That dude's got a
No,
battery,
no,
right?
it's Lil Wayne. He did the same thing with Nivea and Lauren London. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah, yes he did.
yeah, I mean, and so Stefan's out with Cardi. So Cardi and Stefan, and obviously his other baby mamas. And what's his name? Antonio Cromartie, right? 14 kids
Yeah,
by
Antonio
by nine
Cromartie with
different women.
14.
What a legend. Ray Lewis, 7 kids by like six different women. So I mean, hey man, if you
You
ain't
know what?
slanging,
We're just not rich enough.
no, yeah, that's what it comes down to, bro. I mean, if we had
Like I
NFL
got one
money,
child, bro. I got one. Like, is
yeah.
that poverty having one
Exactly.
kid?
You know what? I was watching Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor on their little show like years ago back in Chicago. We're basically like 7 years ago when we're playing out, and then Tiana's like, okay, like like, hey, we have to go to the grocery store, and then mom's like, can we just? Well, he's like, why don't we just pay someone to do it? I'm like, must be nice. You know what I mean? Must be nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Jeez. So, anyways, NFL, NBA money's nice, but hey, it's all good. My health is my wealth, and our lineage, our next in line is our wealth. And it's funny. I was
yep.
talking to my pediatrician. He's like the true wealth isn't jewelry. It isn't cars. It ain't clothes. It ain't all these things. It's this right in front of you. You know, your next of kin. And so yeah. Anyways. Yeah, to the point, bro. I agree. I just think that I just think it's one of those things, man. It's just like, the Patriots look good. You got the Bills and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes MVP front runner. Josh Allen's also MVP front runner. Like Josh Allen's the reigning MVP, and can the Bills and the Peter Schrager pick the Bills to win the Super Bowl this year? So I mean, it can go many different ways. And then like there's all the dark horses. There's really, in my opinion, no clear-cut favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. Yeah, the Eagles are the defending champs. They're 6-2, but I don't know if they're the same team as last year. I don't think they are personally, right? I do think, to your point, the Chiefs, you can never count them out. You can never count out, the Bills or, kind of the main players. But one surprising, shocking thing is the Ravens, how bad they look this year. They look terrible. And that's been very shocking to me because I thought the Ravens were going to be a front runner for the Super Bowl, but they just couldn't get it together. So, anyways, I think long story short, it's going to be interesting playoffs. I mean, you kind of went through your bracket, and I just think that it did like meant the Chargers too, right? We have to show love to Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert and Justin Herbert, like I say. Let's also talk
Justin
about Denver,
Air
man.
Bear.
Denver. I mean, Jesus, 7-2. They're just running shop on everybody, and Denver looks really good right now with Sean Payton, and Bo Nix looks great. That
Yes, they
defense is
do.
playing great. Patrick Surtain Jr., reigning Defensive Player of the Year, right? PS2. So I mean, there's a lot of good teams this year. It's a very competitive NFL, and it could be anyone's year. So let's see what happens. Let's transition over to wrestling. All right, because I know that Saturday Night Main Event. I still have yet to watch the full event, so y'all don't chastise me. I still have to watch the main event. Jey Uso, CM Punk, but just reading about it and just seeing kind of snippets and also watching Raw, I do think that CM Punk and Jay have like a nice little program going. But I'm still a Mark LA Knight. So let me ask you, what was your takeaway from Saturday Night Main Event? What do you like right now? What you're seeing from the product? I guess Vision broke up. Or I guess obviously Braun turned on Seth. What? There's a lot of different things going right now. A lot of things in flight. What is your like? What are your kind of main things that you're watching within the product of wrestling right now?
Right now, I'd want to say like my main things that I'm watching are what they're doing with the main event scene and in the title scene. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Like it's the main event scene that's the thing for me.
Yeah, the
Like I
main
want to
event.
see
Mhm.
I want to see what they're going to end up doing and who they're going to end up doing it with.
Yeah, like I I want LA Knight, and I mean I'm so I mean let's talk about it. LA Knight getting buried. I'm gonna say yes. I don't know why. I just feel like he's been overdue, but it could be because I talked about this yesterday. It could be a slow and steady build that Triple H is playing. I don't know. Or maybe Triple H just has his guys. He likes CM Punk. He likes Jay. Do they like LA Knight? I mean, LA Knight has shown consistent merch sales. He's shown his over with the fans, but maybe they just don't like him. I mean, what's your take right now on how LA Knight's being treated and kind of what do you think he's going to get over at some point?
I think he's going to get over. I think he's already over. I think the issue is more what Triple H wants to do with him.
Yeah.
Like if Triple H decides that he wants to, you know, put the strap on him, which is what I think that he should do, then I think he'll be fine. But if Triple H doesn't decide to put the strap on him, and basically he's just another one of those guys, like he's almost there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he's absolutely one of those kind of guys who's like on the fringe, but yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. CM Punk and Jey Uso, like it just like two faces facing off is kind of confusing. And then yeah, I mean also in addition to that, like not having a real heel right now, maybe Braun Breaker, but I guess maybe they're building Braun to go to get over on CM Punk. I don't know. So we'll see
I
what
mean,
happens.
maybe. I mean, if he does, then it's gonna be a bigger build. You know what I'm saying? He might hold that belt for a couple of days, maybe a
Yeah,
couple of weeks. I don't see him being the long-term champion right now.
not right now because like it's the promo skills and that kind of stuff. Like you can't carry a company without having like Jey Uso was able to get the belt just on charisma, nothing else, right? Like having
What's up,
charisma is
Gibbs?
huge.
How you doing, man? Yeah, like that's really what I think. Like, I don't know. I mean, you got Jey Uso in the mix, which kind of makes it harder. With Jey Uso in the mix, you take away a lot of like, okay, well, we still got to deal with Roman coming back, and that's going to happen any day. And then everything that's going on with Bronson Reed, and then I don't know if you watched Monday Night Raw. Did you watch Monday Night Raw?
I saw bits of it. I still have to catch up.
Yeah, if you Paul Heyman's not done with this feud. Paul Heyman's not done with the Roman Reigns feud. Paul Heyman's not done with the CM Punk feud. They threw Logan Paul in the feud. I don't think Braun Breaker is ready yet. I think he needs Heyman as a mouthpiece for the long term. I'm not sure where to go with that. I would love for them to have thrown it on LA Knight, but after seeing the reaction to CM Punk and then watching his promos on Raw, I kind of understand why CM Punk went over. Me being a big CM Punk fan too. I understand why CM Punk went over. I really do.
Yeah, I understand it. I just don't. I feel like LA Knight's not getting his a fair shake, right? And I
Right.
think that's kind of my issue. I think it's not necessarily that CM Punk or any of these guys are undeserving. I think LA Knight is just like, he just hasn't had his moment in the sun yet, right? And he just needs that.
If I would have booked it, I probably would have booked LA Knight to win, and then I would have had a longer build to Punk versus Knight because that would have made a lot more sense to me than Uso versus Punk. And
Yeah.
not saying that Uso didn't deserve a spotlight, but I'm saying that Uso and Punk have been partners too many times for the animosity to feel like it's a thing. And that's why when on Monday Night Raw they decided to quote unquote team up again, I totally understood. And I also feel like Uso is one of those guys where like he's okay with taking a small back seat until he sees an opening for the championship, which is great. I just don't think the build was right. I don't think there was enough time for the build, and I don't think they were ready for Seth Rollins' injury.
Yeah.
Which Seth Rollins' injury was very real. Cody's injury wasn't. I think Cody's was a missed spot, and that's why it was like that. I think Cody's was a missed spot, and they tried to turn it into an injury angle, and it just didn't work out.
I'm gonna start some controversy right now. Are we losing interest in Cody Rhodes?
Yes, Cody does not have a good feud. Cody versus Roman was a great feud.
Yeah.
Cody versus Drew isn't because Drew never wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cody versus Sheamus is not because Sheamus never wins. We have if I would love to see Cody versus LA Knight and LA Knight win.
Yeah.
Even if it's only for a month or two. I would love to see Cody versus LA Knight and LA Knight win. LA Knight go full heel on Cody,
And just so
or Cody go full Cody Rhodes heel. Demon Cody. Bring him back.
bring
Bring
it
back
back.
Homelander.
Bring it back. And just so everyone's aware, I do have Cody's autograph there. I have two other Cody Rhodes autographs. My nephew's a big Cody Rhodes fan. So, I'm not against him by any means. I love what he's done for the product and for the kids and this new fan base, new generation of fans. But I mean, as a longtime fan, I feel like I'm losing interest because like I just don't know. Like last year was great. This year with John Cena was great, but now it's like where does he go from here? It's kind of
Yeah.
like your point. Like it's just it's kind of hard for me to see place him like where he needs to go. And I feel like Cody is not the most interesting thing right now in the company, right? I mean, that's another thing. Like you have CM Punk and Jay. I mean, you also have, Braun, the Vision. I think Raw is kind of outperforming SmackDown to be, if I'm being quite frank. Um, and I don't know who's doing good on SmackDown right now. I
Well,
just
I
think
mean, you have to remember Cody. So in this match versus Drew, Cody did cheat to win.
he cheated to win, which is great. But then, I mean, like the question is like, and like they planned the seas before, right? Like, okay, like like yeah, the heel turn might happen, might not. But it's like you're teasing it. Like, when is it going to happen? Right now, it's been like, wait, it's
Yeah,
going to be
that's the
almost 2 years.
question. When are you gonna get the real Cody heel
Yeah,
turn?
2 years as champion now. I feel like, and two title reigns now. It's like, well, I don't know if I'm sold on the idea of, okay, yeah, he might do it, or oh, yeah, maybe not. Like, he should do it if I'm being honest. Like, because Cody being a heel will be probably the biggest, like, turn, like in not history, but in this current kind of generation, right, of wrestling. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
well, actually, I take that back. John Cena turning heel was that was pretty significant. That was, man, I still
yeah.
remember
The real John Cena heel turn was great.
the
They
John Cena
teased it
heel.
in the Bray Wyatt match, and I kind of wish they would have kept going with it. But
Yeah,
the real John Cena heel turn was pretty awesome.
the
I'm
real John
actually kind of
Cena.
mad they ended it early.
Well, that one, but I'm talking about this past year, like when he came back and he joined with the
Yeah,
Forces of the Rock. Yeah,
I'm mad they ended this early. I'm mad they
yeah,
ended the heel turn early. They if you noticed, there aren't an abundance of real heels. We talked about this last night. Everybody is being cheered for.
yeah, and that's the problem. John Cena is probably the only real heel, like true to his form. Like, I don't know who's like really over as a heel right now. Like Dom is kind of like the only one who comes to mind, but even then it's like, well, he's so over. It's like now he's starting to get cheered, and it's all now we're kind of just in this position where it's like no one really has true heat. Drew kind of has heat, but he's so like connected with the fans. The fans love him. Like we don't have like maybe Logan, but Logan isn't really a wrestler. He's a celebrity debutante who just kind of shows up when he wants, and that's a shtick, right? He does put the work in, right? But it's not really
Yeah.
it's not the same thing. But we're basically trying to figure out who can be the guy, to kind of, be our Triple H or be our Jericho, right? And
I mean, Jericho is probably going to be the Jericho.
and if Jericho comes,
If we're
yeah,
being
we'll see where
honest,
he lands after
Jericho
this.
is going to be the Jericho
I
because
mean, he's free
Jericho's coming
agent
back to
now.
WWE.
Yeah, he's a free agent now, so I mean, we'll see, if he ends up
Yeah,
coming
Jericho's
back.
coming back. I do feel like there will be a John Cena Jericho match.
Oh yeah, that'd be phenomenal. So, all right, cool. We got 2 minutes. I think we're pretty much wrapped up for today's episode. So yeah, we thanks for hanging out with us. We talked
Who you
about
got this weekend?
what do you mean?
Give us a rundown of your picks,
Oh
your football
gosh,
picks.
let's do it. Got 2 minutes. I gotta do this 2 minute drill. All right, here we go. So obviously Niners and Rams. God damn it! Why you do that to me, bro? I didn't want to. I didn't want to go there. Actually, we'll look at the Raiders and Broncos. Broncos, Falcons, Colts,
Broncos,
Colts, Browns,
Colts,
Jets. Ooh, I'm gonna go
Browns.
Jets. I'm gonna go Jets. Saints, Panthers, Panthers.
Browns. Shador Sanders plays his first game. Browns,
All right, Saints, Panthers, Panthers, Patriots. Oh, Patriots, Bucks. What we doing, bro?
Bucks. Sorry, sorry, Patriots. Bucks.
Bucks. All right, let's go.
Yeah, it'll be a
Ravens,
close game. It'll
Vikings.
probably be. I'll put it over 45.
Okay.
I'll put it over 45.
Ravens, Vikings.
Shoot, Ravens.
Ravens. Yep. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean the Ravens have been bad this
Lamar
week.
Jackson's back.
Bills, Dolphins. I got Bills.
Bills,
Giants, Bears.
Bears.
Bears. All right.
The Bears
Jaguars,
almost
Texans.
beat them before. Bears this time.
Jaguars, Texans.
You said who versus Texans?
Jaguars, Texans. Jacksonville versus
Jags.
yeah, Duval. Cardinals, Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Unfortunately, Lions, Commanders.
Lions.
Mm-hmm. We'll set for the end. Steelers, Chargers.
Chargers.
All right. Eagles, Packers.
Eagles.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I hope he. Well, maybe Packers. We'll see. It's at Green Bay, so I mean, that's picking for me. All right, Rams, 49ers.
I'm going 49ers.
I'm going. Oh God, I'm so conflicted.
I'm going 49ers.
My head says Rams. My heart says 49ers. Fuck it, Bang Bang Niner gang. Let's go. Let's go Niners.
Yeah,
Brock
bang
Purdy
bang
come
Niner
back.
gang.
Lead us to victory. Lead us to promised land. All
Bang
right, y'all.
bang.
Thanks for hanging
It's a
out to
lot of
us.
matchups that we like. A
Yes,
lot of
sir.
matchups that we like. It's going to be a good week of football.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Obviously, y'all been following my shorts. I don't know if you have watched this, but if y'all like the shorts, I'm over 1,000 views, 1,500 views on some of these shorts where I just basically do my quick recaps and instant reactions. I'll keep doing that. But over 70,